In this video, we're going to be talking about adultery and divorce. Stick around, I'm going to go over some of the things you need to know about how it might impact your divorce and how you can plan ahead. All right, now, as a divorce lawyer, unfortunately, I have seen infidelity in marriages all too often. And I can assure you that there are sometimes good people that make bad decisions, and sometimes they're just bad people making bad decisions. The bottom line is, there are some things that you can control and some things you can't. The reality is people commit adultery for various reasons. Maybe something's missing in the marriage, maybe they're just a bad person. But the bottom line is there is no really benefit or harm if someone commits adultery when it comes to a divorce. Now, let me back that up because I know that might be confusing. But in Illinois, you don't get any more or less from the marital property based upon whether someone commits infidelity. I know that's harsh, and I know it might be painful, but it's the reality that you need to understand. Now, as we've discussed in some of our other videos, Illinois is a no-fault divorce state, meaning when we divide up property, we don't allocate any more property or any less property based upon the fault of the parties. Meaning, one party could have an affair and get the same amount of property as if they had not had an affair. You might be thinking that's unfair, and you might be right. But the reality is the law can't get involved in all the details that happens with an affair. In other words, would we give more money if somebody had an ongoing affair over multiple years? Or would we give more money if it was a one-night stand with somebody that you know? You can see how this goes down a rabbit hole, and the reality is we don't go down that rabbit hole. We simply say the marriage is broken, and now we have to divide up the property. Now, in some of our other videos, we've gone over the mechanics of how to divide property, and if you have questions about that, please check those out. Although an affair usually does not impact a case, it can in some situations. So let me take a moment and explain how an affair could potentially impact a divorce. First, there's something called dissipation. Now, dissipation is spending marital money on a non-marital purpose, meaning any money that comes in during the marriage through a regular paycheck or anything acquired during the marriage belongs to the marriage. If you take that money and you spend it on a girlfriend or a boyfriend, that would be considered dissipation. So let's say, for example, over a 6-month period of time, someone spent $10,000 on a significant other. Now, it's a lot of money, but it's gone. We can't divide up what's gone. If someone files a dissipation claim, you can basically say to the court, hey judge, they spent $10,000. Had they not spent that, it would be over here to divide. Give me half of that money. That would be a dissipation claim that might be something for you to consider if there's infidelity in a relationship. Now, the other way that an affair can impact a divorce is if you have children. Now, let me be clear, if somebody has an affair, that doesn't mean that they don't see their children or that the kids can't live with them. Every situation is unique and different. So depending upon the facts and circumstances, it could impact a parenting decision. For example, if someone is having an affair with a career criminal or somebody that has a proven history of sexual abuse to minors, it's an easy decision for the court to say the other parent is going to be having parenting time. The bottom line is there are some things that can impact a case, but they usually don't. It's really important to get that information to your attorney quickly so that the investigation can take place sooner rather than later, and ultimately your options can be presented to you. Now, what if there's an affair and you don't want to get divorced? I've actually seen this happen, and it can work in some situations, but the reality is there was obviously a breakdown in trust that led to it in the first place. Can you work on repairing that? Now, one of the ways I've seen people repair that is through a post-nuptial agreement. And I don't often recommend this because I really want people to work on trust without restrictions, but I have seen people come up with a post-nuptial agreement that essentially says if there's proof of a future affair, certain things can happen. It's very important that you go over this with an attorney. But if it's something that's really important to you and you want to save your marriage, but you need some financial reassurances, a post-nuptial agreement might be a way that you can address these issues. So if you've had an affair or your spouse has had an affair and you want to go over your options, please reach out to our office. We'd be happy to go over your situation and present some options to you.